Differently abled, differently.
The Barrack Museka Foundation provided a platform for mothers with cerebral palsy children to gain skills through an empowerment program in hairdressing. This saw them graduate at the Soweto Social Hall. Take a look.
The Barrack Museka Foundation was celebrating the graduation of its students. Christine Mutola, the CEO of Barrack Museka Foundation, saw a need to train mothers and caregivers in a course that she felt would be deliberating and favorable due to the nature of challenges they face.
This is the first event that we are holding for empowerment program in hairdressing. And the reason why we came up with this program, it's because most of the times you find that when you get a special child, the husband runs away, they are no more. So wamama ndio wanabaki na hiyo responsibility ya kuangalia watoto. So the best profession they can have, it's beauty and hair. That's why we came up with this project.
Due to stigmatization associated with the condition, Christine insists on the importance of counseling as one journeys towards acceptance.
First of all, in our journey of cerebral palsy, it's acceptance. Acceptance, it comes along with a lot of counseling. So we have our monthly meetings as the Cerebral Palsy, Barrack Museka Cerebral Palsy Foundation, of which we usually bring in experts every month. And one of the experts is counselor. Very important. So we are guided through on acceptance, and then from there we take them to the next level.
We would have focused group sessions for counseling, you understand, because sometimes they come and they're having their own home load. You know, caring for a normal child is already, it can take a toll on a parent. So you can imagine caring for a child with a disability, how much that can take on you. And I've walked the journey with these women, and seeing them have these gowns and the pride in their eyes makes me say, indeed, I have helped a lady out there, I've helped a child, and I think there's nothing much better than that in this world today.
The guest of honor, Dr. Aisha, has for some time now been interacting with the foundation, and she explains what cerebral palsy is in a nutshell.
So cerebral palsy, it's a group of neurological diseases that affects children and affects their development of brain, and that also triggers down to their movement and overall health, meaning that if the brain is affected, their posture, stability, mental health, they are not able to engage like normal children would. So it poses a big challenge to the parents, especially the mothers in this sense, whereby they have to fend for food, fend for medications, because the kids need that in their day-to-day coping activity. So it's very cumbersome to them.
According to the doctor, cerebral palsy ranges from mild to severe. Medications are therefore administered differently, including physiotherapy.
Depending on the type of CP that they have, they range from anti-epileptics to physiotherapy to occupational therapy, speech and language therapy. Like, they have so many things, bone and development challenges, talk of school, learning difficulty. So they go through a range of different challenges that are all financial implication to the parents. And most of the time you find the ladies tend to be single parents, or they were married and then ended up divorcing. So it poses a very heavy task to these mamas. And we thought instead of them being able to beg or ask for help every now and then, why not equip them with the knowledge to be able to fend for themselves? So we came up with this empowerment through hairdressing.
Through her interaction with special needs children in the field, the doctor has had an eye-opening experience and looks forward to doing more.
In fact, I'm actually thinking of doing persons with disability in general, not just CP, but if I get an opportunity to interact with them, I would love that, because I've seen there's a very big gap between what we see in the hospital versus what they live in their day-to-day activity. You know, as a doctor, you're just trained, this is CP, this is this is that, but then you don't get to interact with them on a personal level to get to know what are their challenges, what are they struggling with. You know, we don't put into factor the parents and the caregivers, the emotional tasks they go through, the psychological, weight or situation that they go through. It's a lot. And through this interaction with them, I've also started, my mindset has completely changed in that I don't see them as just patients. Rather, I see them as human beings, and they also have needs like any other person. So I'm happy I came to this event, and I'm willing to go through more and more and more.
Annabelle Orlando offered free service in training the graduates after her first encounter with the CEO of Barrack Museka Foundation.
I'm a lover of hair, like I said, and I also happen to have a brother who has a form of, I can't say cerebral palsy, but he's also a special person. Yeah, he's a person living with a disability. And in our interaction, I realized we had a lot in common, me and Christian. And I realized I wasn't alone. It's not every day you come by a person who has a family member who has a disability and they're still living their lives normally out here. So from there, I asked her, how can I help? I would like to do something for this foundation.
The training required financing, but after reaching out, partners came on board and the program started.
There's a lot of stigmatization and about the condition because little is known. So when we see the sponsors coming on board, we are very humbled and we feel that we are accommodated in the society, and it's part of embracing the cerebral palsy community.
There were challenges during the sessions, but they surmounted them, and she is very proud of the ladies she trained.
Some of the challenges, well, the turnout at first was very good, but come day 2, day 3, we saw a decline. And when we made a follow-up, we realized that some of the parents were having this major challenge of no one to leave their children with. There can't be a class without students. And they had no alternative. Some were coming from very far as Thika Road, and some as far as Wayaki Way, all the way to Eastland, Soweto. So it was a bit tedious for them, which we had to understand.
We spoke to some of the graduates who shared their experiences. One could tell from miles away that they were happy with their achievement.
Naitwa Joyce Nyobu. I'm a mother, now a graduate. I'm proud of myself. Compare na hizi classes zingine imekuwa tu poa juu kilingana na time. Juu hizi nini zingine classes haziwezi peano ile masenye yenye naweza angalia huyu na niende class. Sasa imekuwa tu sawa.
I'm very glad I made friends. We are happy. At least even after this we can be communicating. Tunajuliana hali. I'm happy. And this is something that you can't get anywhere else. Atuende mahali uambiwe kuja nikufundishe hairdressing for free, everything. It's not easy. So it's because of this kid. Now watoto wanatuletea baraka mingi sana.
Wairimu, a mother of a special needs child who spoke to us, saw the opportunity on WhatsApp group, and today she has no regrets.
So in one of the groups, they requested if there is someone who wants to do a hairdressing course, and I chose to go mostly because with these kids you can't take them to the salon. Huwezi mpeleka salon because they don't like being kusumbuliwa kichwa. So I used to do some kawaida lines, and I have to do it when she is asleep because hataki kusumbuliwa kichwa. So nikaona wacha nikuje niongezee the knowledge I have, at least hata nitoke kwa lines niende kwa 2 braids to watu And after coming for this course, nikaona I can even do it as a business.
She reached out to parents as well as caregivers and encouraged them to love and bring the children out from hiding.
One thing I would like to say is that parents or caregivers of children with cerebral palsy, they should not hide them in the house. They should bring them outside. We have different organizations that support them to ensure that there is a lot of awareness. And by keeping that child in the house, how will the society know that there is this condition if you hide that child in the house? It's good when you bring them outside so that people can know, and a lot of awareness can reach forth, and we embrace their kids. Yeah. So there's a lot of things they can do hands-on. You know, most of them, they can't stay on formal employment because of their children. You're at work and they call you, oh, the child is conversing. You leave immediately, go to the child. How long will you do that? Most employers don't entertain that. So you find yourself, you only have to get into informal jobs.
First, acceptance. Wazazi wengi wako still in denial. Hawa watoto ni baraka. Na kama huu wangu amenifanya sign mimi ni graduate. Kitu yenye kama singekuwa na yeye hata singemita wazazi wengine wazuri. Singejua kuna changamoto, kuna yani nimepata experience nzuri sana. Na wapende watoto wao, wasiwafiche. Hawa watoto, yes, kuna stigma nje, but ukijipenda, upende mtoto wako, pia utapendwa. Ukitoka naye nje, kaya hapa naye ukiota jua, pia wengine wataona, pia watakuja kumembrace.
Kwanza stigma ni mbaya sana. When a parent of a child with special needs is stigmatized, they prefer to hide the child. Even me, the fact that I'm doing an interview with you right now is an indication that I am fighting stigma. Certainly, I'm over it, but I've decided to fight it.
Christine acknowledges all the partners that have worked with them in the realization of the first ever graduation to be held under the foundation.
Many donors have come on board. They've sponsored this project, and they've come in to support all the products and all the equipment that we needed for the classes. They've brought their team on board who've been training this parent for the past 1 month. So they've done it actually totally free to these cerebral palsy families.